Yes, you're welcome back. You're welcome to the discussion segment of the program. We want to look at, whether we like it or not, the issue of security remains the focal point, remains challenge everywhere in Nigeria. As people want to say, it's only better than some other areas in some areas. When you talk about security, the whole nation is concerned, and of course we are all stakeholders when it comes to security. So we are taking a look at it from the perspective of the Southwest, tackling insecurity in the Southwest, focus on AMOTEKUN. Don't forget that when it was very obvious that they had to do a kind of complement the security agencies that we have. Southwest governors came together, and the rest is history. We now have AMOTEKUN in all the Southwest states, so to say. So here on the program to look at this issue with us, we have the Ogun State AMOTEKUN Commandant, Commander David AKINREMI. Commander AKINREMI, you're welcome to the program this morning.
Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Okay, Commandant, before we go into what AMOTEKUN really is, some people do not know what the objective of AMOTEKUN is. We know it as the emergency security outfit that the Southwest governors put in place to tackle insecurity in the region. So what is the objective of AMOTEKUN? Why was it created in the first place?
Thank you so very much. The establishment of AMOTEKUN, like we all know, like I tell people, is a child of necessity. A child of necessity in the sense that given the security situation that we found ourselves at that particular point in time, there was need for an indigenous security outfit, people-oriented outfit, community-oriented outfit that be able to give a bite to the fight for, against security or all forms of crime and criminalities. Hence, the Southwest governors met sometimes in the early last year in Ibadan, and the idea of having a security outfit that would tackle security challenges in the Southwest states came up. Essentially to complement the existing security architecture that we have in the Southwestern states. Basically, intelligence gathering, crime prevention, and what have you.
So, how far with AMOTEKUN in Ogun State?
So far, so good. I think we started on a good note. I hear some people say, "Oh, AMOTEKUN did not take off on time," and stories like that. But given the nature of our state, I tell anybody who cares to listen that the state is a leader as far as this country is concerned, and we take our time to do our things so that we can get it right from the beginning. It's not about just establishing the outfit, but putting structure in place so that we can, as we are looking beyond now, we're looking into the future, so that we can have a solid foundation. We started operationally, on the 1st of April, when the outfit was inaugurated by His Excellency, the Governor of the state. He had been very supportive, no doubt about that. We have little challenges like every other, little child that's just coming up, but he's always there to support us.
Okay, tell me before, what people want, they want to have confidence in AMOTEKUN, and of course, let's share from your experience since you came aboard, since AMOTEKUN came on board in Ogun State. What have you done so far to actually contribute or your quota to the security system of the state? Let's share one or two experiences where AMOTEKUN has been involved in curbing crime, in curbing security issue.
Yeah, thank you. That's a good question. Yes, a lot of people have been asking questions as to what impact, the AMOTEKUN corps, come to bear in the security architecture of the state. Without, being immodest, I think we have done quite a lot. Though people will say, "Oh, we don't seem to blow our trumpet." It is not when you begin to make noise that people will get to know what you're doing. Though sometimes you need to do one or two things to let people know that you are there. But I tell you, in the few local government areas we are operating, don't forget the fact that when we started, we trained operatives from 6 local government areas originally, because the governor is very passionate about this idea of observing COVID protocols. So we started, instead of bringing operatives from all over the states, the 20 local government areas, we started with 6. Ijebu-Ode, Shagamu, Ijebu North. Then we had operatives trained from Yewa North, Ipokia, Emekwafo. You see, don't forget, we chose those 6 local government areas initially because of
the border areas?
Yeah, the border areas, the 3 border areas, as well as Ijebu-Ode, Shagamu, and Ijebu North. Ijebu North because of our boundary with Oyo State. Ijebu-Ode because our survey showed that a lot of cult activities takes place in Ijebu-Ode as well as Shagamu. Coupled with the fact that and on the border, in the border area, because we were having challenges of farmers, herders, crisis within that axis as at the time we started operating. And so far so good. I'm sure you as journalists, you must have monitored what is going on along that axis. We've been able to, with working with other security forces, to bring down the crisis of farmers and herders along that axis. And in the Ijebu-Ode, Shagamu, and Ijebu-Igbo, Ijebu North axis too, you recall sometime about a month or two, about 2 months ago, we had these court clashes all over the place in Ijebu-Ode and Shagamu, and some part of Ijebu-Igbo too. Working with other security agencies, we were able to bring the situation down. I tell you, quite a lot of them were arrested. Apart from the joint arrest we made in collaboration with other security forces, the AMOTEKUN corps in those areas made several arrests of most of these cultists. And you recall too that while His Excellency was campaigning for the local government election, he did mention about having a force, specifically designated to take care of cult activities in the state. Of course, we make reference to
AMOTEKUN. Okay.
That will tell you how much we have been able to do in terms of checkmating the activities of these bad boys.
Right. Okay.
I recall there was a particular person who had been on the wanted list of the police for quite some time, since January or so, who was said to have killed a policeman in Shagamu. I mean, in Djibouti. Our operatives trailed him, and he was arrested. Of course, he's where he's supposed to be, presently.
Okay. With your analysis now, with what we've been doing in Ogun State, from my own gathering, with what we are saying, that means you are majorly on intelligence gathering, negotiation, and dialogue. Is that true?
Yes, the core of our duty is intelligence gathering.
Okay.
We want to prevent crime and criminalities from being perpetrated. Yes, it has to take the word to them, get intelligence on their activities, rather than being reactive. Yes, but notwithstanding that as a core mandate, the law that established the agency also mandate us to embark on patrols of highways and internal roads and what have you, which is also a way of preventing crime and criminalities. You see, we have the power is so wide, even on water. And that's why I said, when we started this agency, we are looking at the future. It's not just now. We are intending to expand to the waterways, apart from the hinterland, apart from the forest and what have you, the plan is ongoing to extend our activities to waterways. You don't forget the fact that we have a lot of water, riverine area in the state. And so it's intelligence gathering, yes, crime prevention and detection, as the case may be, but we want to focus first and foremost on getting intelligence, information, process it, actionable intelligence, which we can work on, and as well, pass on to other security forces in the state, so that we can be seen to be working, together.
Okay, go ahead. I had a follow-up question to what I asked. We know that in Nigeria, when you want to recruit, you look at the capability of those you want to bring in, especially in this kind of outfit that you are running. So the kind of staff that you have, are they the security personnel who have worked somewhere, or those who you brought in to train? Because the quality of those who work with you will matter, so that the result can be seen.
What do you look out for when you recruit?
Well,
that is summary of the question.
Of course, we take into consideration those who had security experience.
Okay.
And that's why when we started, the process of recruitment, we look at people from the vigilante group.
Okay.
We look at people from the SOSAVE, which is also a security outfit of the state. We look at the Manu War. We look at, even as far as the OPC.
Okay.
Then of course we had few operatives that were recruited directly. Looking at
to be trained.
To be trained. Because we cannot just put all our eggs in one basket. You see, there are still people who do not have security background, but have flair, for the job. So we consider all those. Then of course, like I said, the corps is community-based. It's people-oriented security outfit. We endeavor in the process of our selection to get in touch with traditional rulers, the KBCs, the Bale, the Olori Tuns, and what have you, to do a background check on all
those who want
you
to.
know who yes we won't recommend it. We insisted they must recommend these operatives so that we know, yes, you know them because they are supposed to go back to their communities to serve. So we expect that they must be known by their leaders in the community. Oh, Omalagbaja, this is a child of so person. So if you go back there, you know your family's name is at stake. So we took that into consideration in the course of our recruitment, and I think so far so good. But
now, the intention of all Southwest governors is to make Southwest safe.
Yes.
And of course, because of this, AMOTEKUN came on board. Do we have an avenue where at least you commandants of AMOTEKUNs in the Southwest zone meet to deliberate and of course try to look for common ground, so to say, that will help security. Yes. Especially when you look at what is happening in some parts of Nigeria. You don't want jailbreak to happen in the Southwest. It is happening now. I mean, these are the issues that I think collectively, have you ever come together to actually share ideas?
Of course, the law establishing the cops in all the states of the Southwest, says we must collaborate. So that collaboration is already on. We meet from time to time, exchange ideas. In fact, we were supposed to have hosted the Council of AMOTEKUN Commanders.
Okay, that's what you call it.
Yes, Council of AMOTEKUN Commanders in Ogun State. In fact, we are hosting.
Okay.
We should have done that about a few weeks ago, but because of some other challenges that we had, and very soon, I'm sure in the next 1 week or so, we're going to meet here in Ogun State, exchange notes, exchange ideas, look at the security challenges that is that are common to all the states, share our experiences. Oh, you had this kind of a situation, how did you go about it? Okay. We're doing that. We meet from time to time. We rotate it amongst ourselves. We share ideas, we share intelligence. If there are issues happening in Oyo that is along our border, we are alerted immediately. In fact, we have constant communication. Okay. Sometimes we have Zoom meetings and whatever. In fact, yesterday night we still had one. So it's an ongoing thing, because you see, the security of our states, the Southwest, is paramount to us. And if we don't collaborate, if we don't meet from time to time to share ideas and intelligence, there are problems in Oyo, for instance. It can snowball into having it in Ogun, right? If Oyo that is sharing boundary with Ondo is not collaborating with Ondo, when there are crises in Ondo, it could snowball into, could have a multiplier effect on Oyo. So we meet from time to time. With that, we meet, we collaborate, we share intelligence, we share information. In fact, we have a network of communication as well. That if anything happens there, we get in touch with ourselves on a specialized communication, whatever. Okay. And sometimes, if you need a particular kind of whatever and it's not available in your state, the next state can, provide that for you to be able to get at what we are, looking for.
Okay, Commander, how autonomous is AMOTEKUN, especially in Ogun State? In operations, do you do your thing yourself without any interference?
As in What kind of interference are we talking about?
From the government, from the ballers, from the traditional rulers. Can you operate without interference from anybody that will tell you, don't go this area, go this area, do this, don't do this?
No, as far, from the government side, no. Of course, the governor had given us mandate, and the mandate is to ensure that people sleep with their 2 eyes closed. This is the industrial hub of Nigeria. I'm so passionate about we getting it right, doing the right thing. You know, he had never asked any. I've never had any cause to be asked questions as to why are you doing this. You know, provided it's in tandem with the provisions of the law. From the traditional, the larger society, of course, you could have interested parties. People can be interested in certain things you're doing, but that is not to say I don't expect any KBC, for instance, to interfere in a matter involving an armed robber, for instance.
That's like condoning crime.
Yes. You know, they are all our ambassadors. It's just because we have not done the investiture. All the KBCs are special ambassadors of AMOTEKUN. So they represent AMOTEKUN. So if there's anything they have been doing so far and we expect them to continue to do, is to collaborate with us, not to work against, you know, our operation.
So who is AMOTEKUN answerable to? Who do you tell what you're doing? We know that you go to the governor and tell him this is what we've been doing. Aside the governor, the governors who initiated this concept, who do you give accounts to?
Of course, the governor.
The governor, yeah.
It's the governor of the state.
Okay.
Yeah.
They appointed all of us, and you know, we're directly responsible to him. That's what the law says.
Okay, apart from meeting regularly with other AMOTEKUN commandants, you call it Council of AMOTEKUN
Commanders.
Now, let's look at the synergy between AMOTEKUN and other security outfits in Ogun State. How will you describe it? How often do you meet to compare notes?
Okay, we do that regularly. Don't forget the fact that I'm a retired commissioner of police. I had been commissioner of police in at least one or two states of the federation before I retired. I know what it entails working with quasi security outfit then, you know. So it's an additional.
Let me quickly ask this: other commanders in the Southwest, do they also have police background like you?
No, not all of them.
Okay.
But I think there are 3 states where you have military personnel, brigadier, and you know, whatever.
Okay. Okay.
Then one is from.
But they have
all
military.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Now go ahead. You are talking
yeah.
about the synergy between you and the other security outfits in
Ogun
State.
we have a robust relationship. No doubt about that. We work together from time to time. We exchange notes. We share intelligence. Apart from the platform of heads of security services that we have in the state, that we regularly, you know, share information and intelligence. You know, we meet from time to time. We have meetings severally. The CP is the chairman of the Security Council among security chiefs, and we meet on regular basis to share intelligence. If there are, you know, issues coming up, I'm sure you must have seen quite a lot of activities. You know, I remember when we had this issue in Ibishi, all of us were there together. We spoke to, you know, all the stakeholders together. Several times we had meetings in the officers' mess, you know, even at the state command headquarters. So like I said, we have a robust relationship.
Okay.
Well, you come. I just want to because we must say it when we feel it. That to some extent, I think we've been enjoying relative peace concerning security issues in Ogun State. Of course, it's not about just like you said, when you go about saying what you plan. I mean, talking about your plans or making noise. I think we can feel the collaboration to some extent, except occasionally, and this is why we are having the security challenges all over Nigeria. But as far as Ogun State is concerned, I think we can be bold to say that to some extent it's been peaceful security-wise. No doubt about that. Yeah, Charity?
Okay, I wanted to ask Commander about the challenges. You know, as a new outfit, you have some challenges, and some places you want improvement. Can you let us know what you've been facing and how you hope to improve on that?
Like you rightly said, a little child that is growing up will have a lot of such challenges. It is normal. Security, like I tell people, is capital intensive. We need to spend more so that in terms of equipping the corps, we need to spend more on the vehicles. We need to spend more on communication. We need to spend more on the logistics, for the men and what have you. Yes, so far we are not doing too badly as far as that is concerned. On the part of our people, I know I've gone around a couple of local government areas in the state to sensitize our people, of the need to collaborate with us, of the need to own the agency, of the need to do the needful at all times. What do I mean by that? Getting them to appreciate the fact that security should be everybody's concern. They should take the security of themselves, their communities, as a task that must be done. When you don't have public safety, there's no security. Of course, the farmer cannot go to farm. The worker cannot go to work. So a lot of things, there'll be, disorder in the society. So we need their collaboration. That's what I'm saying in essence. Yes, they have been doing that, but they still need to do more.
Okay, that means the level of acceptance is still low.
No. You see, no, it's not in terms of acceptance.
Okay.
In the areas where we operate, I tell you, sometimes when I drive around, my painted vehicle, you see people hailing AMOTEKUN, Tiwa.
Okay.
That will tell you that, we welcome
the
idea of having our own indigenous security outfit. But we still need to do more. The armed robbers that is operating in a community is known to, it's not a spirit, it's a human being, right? We should always be willing to give us information about activities of people they suspect to be criminals in their midst, because whatever affects the eye will definitely affect the nose someday, because you never can tell. If Yorubas will say when your child is or your neighbor is probably eating cockroaches or whatever they call it, and you don't caution that your neighbor, by the time you start snoring and making noise, at night, everybody will be disturbed. So we need to do more in terms of collaboration.
Even though it's not been happening in the southwest, but the latest in Kogi, but that should be worrisome, and that means that we should be conscious also. So with your experience as a retired police commissioner, what is the solution to the incessant jailbreak in Nigeria?
Yes. Well, I think, you see, we have an unfortunate situation. Unfortunate situation is saying that our men, generally, whether in the prison, whether in the police, whether in the wherever, they need to be more committed to their duties. They need to be more committed because sometimes when you go around and you see them at their beat, some of them are so lackadaisical about what they are doing, right? So we need to look inward as security forces. Guiding or providing security at custodial centers should be given special attention. Special attention in the sense that if you have cameras all over the place, properly manned and operated, and you have guards who are committed to their duty, I don't think we should have much of issues of jailbreakers.
Are they well motivated? Are they well motivated?
Well, motivation is a different thing. It's another ball game. It's a different thing altogether. We know the police. I was in the police for 35 years, and when you talk of motivation, it's written all over the place. Everybody knows what is going on, and I think the same thing is applicable to other services too. So they need, of course, there's need for motivation. There's no doubt about that. Motivation is zero. I'll tell you. 35 years in the police force, I know what I went through. And like I tell people, I wouldn't want any of my children to go through that same process. So motivation is key as well.
Okay, Commander, let's look at community policing. Can we situate indigenous policing as such as this AMOTEKUN to community? Is it the same thing?
Community policing, yes, this is community policing.
Okay.
People selected from amongst the people, the community where they are serving. People who knows the terrain. It's in those days, we used to have this idea of everybody knowing everybody, right? So of course, but the society had grown larger than what it used to be in terms of size, in terms of population and what have you. But the fact still remains that an indigene of a particular community it is likely to know much about that community in terms of terrain, right? In terms of the culture of the people, in terms of criminal activities taking place in whatever, and of course we'll be able to prioritize the level of crime and criminalities within that,
and the solutions
and the solutions to yes. So that is all about community policing. Identify the security challenges that you have, prioritize it. It's about problem solving. Bring people together to see how do we solve this security challenge that we're having. Then of course you come back to to have a critique of what you have done. Where did you get? Were you able to get to your goal, the target? If you are not able to do it, what was responsible for it? Then you sit down, you sit down together again and rejig so that you can get to your goal.
Okay, Commander, we are hitting the home stretch of this segment of the discussion program. But once we have people like you here, and he's talking about community policing, at times consciousness can actually forestall insecurity. I mean, you nip it in the bud, and you are conscious if you get to know some tips. What are some of the tips of being security conscious that we should note?
Okay, it's important that we live in a community, right? You should be able to identify who your neighbors are. Unfortunately, we are we have drifted from the culture of being our brother's keepers. I mean, when I say by being our brother's keepers, you live in maybe you live in a block of 4 flats, for instance. Most of the time, you might not even know who your neighbor is.
And it's not too good.
And it's not too good. So if you don't know who your neighbor is, and somebody you assume to be your neighbor comes in, hide his pistol or whatever that is, under his agbada or dashiki or buba or whatever, it can wreak havoc. So we must identify who our neighbors are. That's one. Our neighborhood, it is important that, you see, in the days of our fathers and our forefathers, there's hardly anybody within your community that you don't know. So once a stranger comes in, it's important that we must find out who that stranger is. Which house is it living? Where does it come from? What kind of job does he do? It is important. Now, of course, for our landlords, somebody just don't come to your house and say, yes, I see to let, post on a particular building, and it comes in without you doing certain security checks.
What do you do? Where do you work?
Where do you work? Are you a family man or are you a family woman? How many children do you have and stuff like that? Yeah, it might sound funny to the would-be tenant.
Well, that's the situation we find ourselves now.
That's the situation we find ourselves. We must check the background of, whosoever we want to bring to our house, because sometimes, if you think, the law permits us to say, okay, if you are a landlord, for instance, and you have an armed robber in your house, I'm sure you must have seen in some other states where, government destroy such houses and take over the property. So you must, if you think it's not going to affect you someday, then you might be playing with fire.
Let me ask Commander this last question before we leave. Commander, the regional outfit now, do you have a sustainable plan? Because we know that it is a regional security outfit, not the national one. Do you have any sustainable plans so that the outfit can outlive those who started it?
Oh, of course. Don't forget that. That's why I said we are looking at the future. I said it at the beginning of this program. We're not looking at just the present situation. We are looking at how we can. It has come to stay. It's a creation of the law. It's a legal entity. Whether we like it or not, government will go, government will come, but the outfit will continue. But you see, the only thing is, we are praying and hoping that it will not be like other agencies created by government, that if a particular government that is interested in the outfit goes, another one comes in and it becomes
it's difficult not to have a government that will not be interested in
security. And that is very important. There's no state, there's no government that will come that will not want to sustain what we have started. Yeah, because security is everything.
Yes, the security is everybody's business, no doubt about it. It's on that note that I want to thank you very much, Commander David AKINREMI, Ogun State AMOTEKUN Commandant, for coming on to the program. We sincerely appreciate you. We've been talking to the Ogun State AMOTEKUN Commandant, Commander AKINREMI, and of course we've been looking at tackling insecurity in the Southwest. Focus has been on AMOTEKUN, especially its operations and its operatives here in Ogun State. Once again, I want to thank you very much for having time for us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, our viewers. And like I keep on saying, we are here to serve you. And we need all your support. to ensure that our people are secured and safe.
So that we can sleep with two eyes closed.
Two eyes closed, yes.
We'll take this break. We'll be back.